Looks good to me, I guess. Well, no, it doesn't. So, those rust holes are the reason that I bought these mirrors. And now as a next mission, I'll disassemble them completely so that we can remove all of the rust from here and also paint the covers. Damn, it's that wrong. I want to be extra careful because these weren't cheap. Old used mirrors, and well, I paid 150 euros for 2 of these. So actually, if I remove that first, there might be a bolt. Yeah. Great.
Tehdäänkö laittomuksia ottaa noin hyväksynnät pois tästä?
Mistä?
Nämä.
Miksi?
Se on syöpi himo.
Yeah. I need to remove the protector or cover first, and only after that I can remove the mirror glass. Dear, I don't feel like that I made the best deal, but at least I got the deal. So, now next thing, what is that size? T25. Doesn't fit. Just free spinning. And next size is T20. There we go. I really hope that none of the screws is rusted shut. One? Oh no. There are specialty screws, so if they are stuck, then we have a problem. Like a really bad problem. I don't mind breaking normal screws and bolts, but something specific like this, no, I don't want to break it. I don't like that sound. Okay, seems to be fine. So yeah, we are today just preparing stuff for paint, doing these little parts because it's pretty windy. You can't weld, you can't paint, you can't really pretty much do anything outside except for, you know, sanding, because all of the dust gets removed automatically. Okay. We need to check if my previous mirror itself is better. Damn, it's less rusty, but it doesn't have the holes. Yeah, these were never designed to have the covers. Oh man, oh man. 13. That's half inch. That there must be 13 underneath, yeah. Oh yeah. Great seal. I absolutely love old screws. I got one out, and I guess 3 of them. Do I have a... That's too big. Yeah. Snap. Oh, that's fine. Snap. At least the mirror is out. Hola. So yeah, this is even here. Two knots? Yeah, 2 knots. What size? 17? No, let's try 19. 17. Yeah.
täälläkin näköjään tää. Se on niinku...
Niin. There we go. That's my demon in the garage. So, this is the second mirror. I have removed the glasses and I found a small surprise. Even the smaller mirror seems to be heated, which is kind of surprising. Not sure if this is original or not, because even the 4 series or Air series, I don't think they had heated smaller mirror. I could be wrong, but I can't remember. And now it's the moment that every tool enjoyer is going to curse me to bad places, because that is stuck. And let's see. I'm surprised it was that fast. I wonder... oh. Yeah. I may have done bad things earlier too. So, what can I figure out? Fucking... I wonder... It was nice knowing you. I feel like that my fingers will be gone. Whoa! Slipping. Can't do that. Okay, I'm not saying goodbyes yet. Feel way more comfortable having the tool this way. Oh yeah, it's actually coming off. That's good news. Doink. I feel like I got ripped off. But yeah, there isn't much of these and it's actually pretty solid, so yeah. Just gotta remove these and these and these and everything. Well, this is fun. This is the second mirror. The other was completely fine, only needs rust removal and painting, but the other is crusty, so I need to remake this whole section, so it has to be done in 2 parts because we didn't have big enough piece, so I need to bend this. Actually, I'm wondering if I should do it in 3 pieces. 1 bent here and the wings, but I'll figure out a way. Because at first I was thinking of making straight section and a corner and bending to half. And having the weld here, but actually if I want perfect pipe to use as a shaper, I could bend this here and then just weld the rest on. Well, I'll keep thinking and wondering. Let's see. If I got it here, I can use this. Yeah, I'll have to do that. it's sanded. And well, the inside looks bad. Don't mind it. But compared to the original on the other one, I would say it doesn't even look bad. It needs a tiny bit of sanding on that edge, and then I could weld it on. But I think I might need to replace the pipe here. It's on the inside. Oh, it's a bit thinner. Okay, that's fine. Or maybe I could just cut the rusted part out, because I don't want to bend this whole thing. Anyway, gotta figure out. So here's lots of these awkward shaped parts. This is for the mirrors, and I need to figure out how to clean it. Mitä jos mä vetäisin sille pikkupuhaltimelle näitä?
No joo, okei.
Se voisi olla nyt toimivin tähän. Joo, odota. Lähtee ihan niinku. I guess I have to blast those all. Shouldn't take too long. So I'm back with this for now. Mika has been painting many stuff. So this was the back plate from the mirrors I bought. Not good. So this was from our mirrors. This is less bad. A bit rusty, but oh well, you can't win always. So I had to drill the holes. I need to tap them, sand this, and give it to Mika for paint. Also other mounting bracket, this is from ours. This is way better than the one I bought, and these are from ours. So I've been basically scavenge hunting which are the best or the least bad parts. So I have already ground the other wing, or how would you call it, and now it's time for this one, and then it's going off to the paint. I'll catch my sleeve. Begun. Way better. And that's shining beautifully. Now it needs a quick wipe and then it's off to the paint booth. Let's see, Mika should have everything ready there. I have to admit I did something really bad. I rattle canned the inside because Mika wasn't able to flip them yesterday when he was painting. It's covered now. We don't want to make a new batch of paint just for that. So next time that we are doing anything with paint, I rip those apart and redo them. And as you can see, I have lots of similar parts. There are good and bad parts from all of the mirrors, from the new ones I bought and from the old ones that we used to have. So that's why there is 3 of these. This obviously I won't use, this is so bad and fragile because I have 2 of the better ones. Go with it. So this will be the driver's side. That way, yeah. That goes there. That has to be clamped on. But there, I would say. So then I would... There is that. And there's the gasket. So our mirrors had a different style. The other one had the cup and the bolt and ours was all plastic. Something funky. Wait a second, driver's side. So it will be mounted this way, and now I put that wrong way. This was universal, maybe. Oh! Scratches on the fresh paint, damn. So yeah, even though this is painted yesterday, this isn't properly cured, as anyone who has played with paints knows. Well, maybe it gets a overspray one day. I can't close that yet. That was that way. That's there. And actually that rubber base might have been there. Looks way smarter, but it's not, to be honest. Oh yeah. And that's where the heated mirror will be at the bottom. Oh yeah, it was for this one, yeah. Makes sense. $70? Yep, it's getting tight. I have to admit that we made a tiny mistake. We forgot to drill the holes for the heated mirrors to the doors. So that happened. So we won't be installing the heaters, even though I'll be putting the panels on. Actually, I'll just take 2 of these.
Onks täällä mitään pehmosta? Ei. Sitäkö liivaa päälle?
Ei se on huono idea. Yeah, that of course needs a good clean. Do I have the gaskets somewhere here? I need to clean these.
Tässä se piiloo vaan. Se oikea puoli. Vittu.
Well, that's a problem. Yeah, here's the original. So the other one was drilled by me. Eiku. Mikäs perkeleen ruuvi tää nyt on koolta?
Koska kolmonen.
Mä tein tähän päät 3 kierteet.
Niin se tekee se onkin väliin. Tää ei oo kyllä vakio kolmonen. Mulla on ihan helvetin paha aavistus tää.
3,5.
3,5 tai tuumana.
Here's the other side.
Tämähän on vähän huono.
Aha. Onks tos parempi?
Oh.
Mistäs? Näin saksas.
Joo.
Tää ois ollu ihan hyvän näköinen taustalevykin.
Niin.
Oikeesti aika hyvän näköinen. Se hattulla nyt. Changing from the flight. That's the bottom. This way. I'm wondering if that should be between here. Yeah, maybe. Our mirror didn't have that all. That's the bottom. That's the bottom. Yeah. Wonder if we can use this. Probably, yeah. Actually, yeah. So having the nut on that one means that we can just remove the tiny block on the covers and turn the mirrors if you want. But now that I'm doing it this way, this means that if you ever want to adjust the mirrors, we need to remove the whole cover. Well, it is what it is. It's pretty clean. Yeah. Just quick wipe. That look like welding sparks. Yeah, hell yeah. So this has been the passenger side, so yeah, we fixed the hole in the roof when the mirrors were on, and apparently it wasn't protected. Well, those are tiny things. Can't expect brand new from 30 years old. And there's the glue. It's somewhat interesting how it varies from side to side, that something was really good on the driver's side and something was really bad. It might have been that the mirrors have been swapped at some point or not. And right now I'll break off those so that when we install the covers they aren't a problem. Or well, that'd be easy to drill out from the outside, but then the tiny ends would be inside.
Voi voi.
Mitä?
Kato.
Aha!
Mut tikko on puhdas, mä vähän veikkaan. Se on vaan kondenssi, kun vetän lyhyttä matkaa nyt.
Niitä oli sun auto. No niin.
No sit sieltä on lohkohalki. Kansipahvennusta ei käyttäisi näin ikinä.
No mitä oli?
Et joko sieltä on lohkohalki tai sitten on kondenssi. Mut kun öljytikulla ei näy mitään. Tykahtaa. On toiminutkin liian hyvin.
This was the gasket from this one. Because the gaskets on the mirrors that had the covers, they were a tiny bit different from the ones that didn't have the covers. Could you please go on? Yeah, these are just duplicate parts. Maybe that was there. It probably was there. Yeah, you can put that there. can't be this way. Oh no, some glue. That has to be wiped up fast, because that sponge is covered in paint thinner. Okay, I'm all on my own now. Mika is leaving now. He won't be back until Thursday, and it's Tuesday now. I've got places to be tomorrow. I'm getting something cool. Okay, surely I'd still have Dad here, so some of the bigger stuff can be done. I'll be mounting the roof rack soon. Yeah. Is it long enough? And I have no idea how, but this was painted yesterday, and this already has some red spots on it, even though there has been no red painting after that. And now this one will be a bit of let's try there. Oh yeah. Starting to look fresh. And then the other side. And here you can see a tiny measuring error. I have no idea what happened, but we measured the holes, drilled them, and then they were off. Looks like they didn't get perfect paint. Oh well. when you do everything by yourself, or well, in our cases, by ourselves, you get what you get. If we had taken this to a professional painter and it came out like this, then there would be a problem. But this is a DIY project, so of course we are seeking for perfection, but we are completely fine with mediocre. Well, I still need to put the end caps on. Well, that's a small thing to do. If I would have been smart, I would have done that on the ground. No, 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 no. I'm afraid I'm losing the thread. That's strong. That's not strong. Oof. Yep, I won't touch that anymore. As solid as it can be. Yeah. Nice. I'm badly overdue in this mirror project. I started this back in May and it's now December, so it's been 5 months. We installed them, they have been sitting in the truck, half finished, but now I want to finish them today. Unfortunately, I ran into a problem. As you might remember, the screws we had here, the original ones, they were like M3.5 or something, because they weren't the M3 or they weren't M4. So I got an idea. I will drill that out, all of these holes, add a rivet nut, and then there will be a M5 thread. But unfortunately, I used all the M5 machine screws I had. It would have been easy to drop it there, have it come out a bit. Actually, that wouldn't have been enough, or maybe it would be. But anyways, I used all of these. I used all of these when I was installing the backup camera screen. So all I have is M5 bolts. So, and the problem with these bolts, here's an example, is that it drops into a hole, but it's impossible to fit a socket in there. So what I'll do is I will cut a slot here, so I can use a flathead screwdriver to install them, hopefully. Yes, 8. Okay, need it. No dice. Nope. That ain't working either. Ja onks toi liian paksu, että kyllä se tarttuu. Joo, se oikeesti.
Paitsi et se ei vettä pohjaa, kun sä lähdet vetää sitä.
Kui?
Pitää ottaa se lasi pois. Sen koittaisin painaa, mutta se tulee siihen yläpuolelle se. Sitten
Se eihän toi haittaa mitään. Koska muistatko, kun me liimattiin nämä lasit kiinni?
ai ne. Mahtava idea.
Niin niitä ei ihan noin vaan irroteta. So yeah, installing this is a tiny bit tricky because we glued the glass to the back metal because we didn't think that we would need to do this. Well, that will find its strength. Yeah, that's done. The cover is holding. Now, the second one. Where my custom build? There, yes. This would have been so much nicer to do before we glued in the mirrors. But you know, we didn't realize it back then. Oh no. I broke one. So I had to borrow one from this pack. And it's a different color. Damn. I think no one will ever see, but what will bother me? Kun mulla oli homma kesken. Hei, mä oon koittanut. Sä oot huomannut joskus, kun mä oon käynyt täällä yksinä ja tekee jotain, niin jonkun verran tavaraa on omalla paikallaan.
Jotain.
Hop.
On tehty vähän tiukkaa.
Jaa.
Ja savumaa. Onko paha? Kiva.
Ei saatana. Ihan sama. No one will never know. Joo, eikä se tai vaikka se on ruma. Haittaa.
Hei.
This is suboptimal. But so the depth of this one isn't big enough in order to fit the whole rivet nut in it and this part, so yeah, I'll use a washer as a spacer. In order to not bottom out. I think I'm ready to install. We'll take one at a time. So this is the one with the bigger bolt. Let's just make sure. Yeah, there's a square hole. Let's see. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing if there was a something protecting the parts. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. I added a piece of rubber in here to make sure it stays well in place and doesn't turn around. Like you may have noticed that the driver's side mirror absolutely loves to do. Anytime we do anything and close the door, the mirror turns. So stay a bit of friction. Apparently it wants a smaller piece. Maybe that's small enough. Actually, it probably doesn't need much. Simply because metal on metal doesn't have friction pretty much at all. But even the slightest bit of rubber should help immensely. Because this middle metal piece, I have no idea what's the actual job of it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now it's correctly. That's upside down. Oh, there goes my rubber. Yeah, this is going well. No, you are not allowed to come out. There we go. It'll rub, it'll ruin the paint, but no, whatever. No. I didn't have that piece. Big. This will be absolute pain. Does this only fit the other side? Let's try the other mirror. Let's try this one. So I think the other one is like M4 and the other one, no, it can't be M4, but what would I say, M6 and M8. There's a substantial difference. The problem is that if I remove this, wait, that's the bigger one. So what I was going to say is that the problem is that if I remove the piece of rubber from there, nothing is holding that in place. I'm not saying that the Rubber is doing good job, but anyways, yeah. I should have removed the mirrors completely and assembled this on the table, but it's too late now. Well, getting these on was a struggle to say the least, but they are tight. They shouldn't wobble as much as they did before. And now just need to install the bolts for these covers. It maybe got the thread, maybe. Yeah, it did. Great. This tool isn't the best ATM. Got to admit that felt weird to say out loud. But typing that isn't weird at all. Annoying. Now those are kind of high. Annoyingly high, not too high, but not optimally either. There we go. Nope. And with this one, I can call this job done. There we go. They're looking much better. Like a lot better. Well, I should add these plates, the plastic ones, but I'm not sure if I want to do that, because if any moisture gets in, it drains out way easier now. And here's the other side. It's a tiny bit more wobbly, but not as bad as it used to be. Great, that's done. Man, doesn't it look cool with the log bed and the crane? Too bad it isn't the log lift. You'll see the reason for that on the other video. But yeah, that's it. The mirrors are done, cleaned up, painted. We need to find the original upper mirrors. So that's still the Mercedes Benz mirror, but you know, it broke, so we don't really care. That's actually probably way too low. So might be that one as well. Not sure. We can adjust them later. Or we will adjust them later. When someone gets on the driver's seat and when the mirrors are dry, because right now you can't see anything. But yeah, that's it. They're done. I'm happy with them. And you know, you can do all the YouTube stuff now. Like, leave a comment or a question, and maybe even subscribe if you like the stuff we are doing with this Scania. But yeah, see you later. Peace out.